Hello everyone, this is John. The following is my final presentation for IT 7023. Hello, I'm John Meyer, a Master of Architecture candidate in the College of Design, Architecture, Art, and Planning at the University of Cincinnati, and I'm presenting a literature review of the geospatial implications of social geolocation and connectedness. My review focuses on geolocation as a spatial indicator that can affect city planning, social structures, and the architecture that starts to guide these structures. Henry Lefebvre is quoted saying, "Space is the product of human conception, perception, and bodily activity." This embodies much of the architectural discourse, and as social media, the internet, and digital communication affect these perceptions and bodily activities, space and architecture is rapidly changing. One of these implications is the geolocation of users, and that data can be applied to the constructions of our world. In this conception of social media, the physical distances of users have been found to affect the movements and communications of users differently than in the past. As technology moves to an ambient technology that surrounds rather than is device-based, the issue of geolocation becomes crucial to the success of these systems. Moving about with technology and moving technology into the ambient environment also requires an understanding of the social structure within which it operates, in order to adequately inform the design and implementation of the technology. Mapping is a traditionally viewed architectural design process that can be aided by the use of this social media data and the changing perceptions of distance that technology has affected, such as telecommuting, video chatting with friends across the planet, and long-distance communication. Geolocation provides key metrics that are measurable, mappable, and correspond with network analysis of Facebook, Twitter, and Google. Measures of attraction, node connections, and tie strength all have corresponding architectural features and responses that can be optimized with social media data. Inferences of location without explicit data can further this endeavor through artificial intelligence and algorithmic interpretation. Adding these data and the inferences to communication in space can add additional data points and nodes to promote better integration with the physical world. This issue of localized adjacency also refers to concerns of privacy. This concern for privacy is rooted in a physical representation of architecture. Firmitas, or the structure of architecture, provides for the basic shelter and security, addressing concerns of the human race. Along with utilitas, also known as utility, and venustas, or beauty, these are the three core pillars of architecture as described by the great architect Vitruvius, the 1st century Roman architect. The privacy we feel in spatial constructions has an inherent transparency that gives hierarchy to the network we interact with in space. Similarly, the structural basis of digital networks can shift to this hierarchy to implement into an ambient technology. The current findings of this review, however, found that the failure of many privacy settings are in the series of restrictions and violations around the visibility of a network. These restrictions and violations often lead to an aggressive take on privacy, and the article by Stefanidis notes that the quality of the content produced by users is not directly affected by the network privacy settings. Users continue to share similar content regardless of their settings, yet privacy was a concern for all users in the study. Current geolocation and privacy methods do not address the cross-referenced web, nor does architecture in space. As a method of overcoming privacy concerns, the addition of geolocation can add to the physical presence to increase close relationships in architecture and can automatically provide the gradient or hierarchy of privacy that's automatically based on location. These ties into the findings of the research that ties into social media follow similar patterns of social interaction based on distance. We see this quite often in architecture. The authors found that the close geolocation relationships followed patterns of close friendship or daily interaction, and longer distance friendships followed long distance travel patterns. However, this physical distance is harder to recreate online because of the connectivity of the internet. As architects begin to implement the digital world into more spaces, the analysis of existing social networks can provide insights into the opportunities for architectural intervention. For example, telecommuting has already changed the layout and requirements of conference rooms in the open office concept, and adding layers and adding into the effects of searchability and cross-referenced web into spaces, while maintaining the architectural gradient of privacy, will enhance the value of social networks in the future. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please contact me.